Let's take a look at the week ahead and a gold long from today's London session. Let's get it. Guys, please smash that like button and feel free to drop a comment. The earlier you do it in the video, the more it supports the channel and will push the channel far and wide. Thank you so much, guys. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the first video of the week. Thank you for joining me here today. I decided to sit yesterday out with the bank holiday on Monday. I decided to sit the New York session out, which is why there was no video yesterday either. Looking at the calendar ahead for the rest of the week, we do have Fed Chair Powell speaking apparently at 12:20 p.m. today. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And then everything else is still tentative with this government shutdown. So who knows when we will get some high impact news to drive the market. We just continue to trade normally. All right, we're going to start here on NQ. On the weekly, we have flushed out some of the buyers with this heavy move lower, but we did push down into this bullish FEG. I would love to have seen even a deeper retracement with a test of this propulsion block here on the weekly, but we haven't achieved that just yet. I do see or foresee lower prices at the moment, particularly with this opening gap that we had, and we have this devil's mark at the low on the candle here. So looking for that to be a strong draw on liquidity. Although I believe we flick over to ES quickly. ES has already tapped into the gap. All right, it hasn't closed the gap, but it has tapped into it today. So that's what I'm looking at for NQ. If we flick over to the daily, we do have this bearish change in state of delivery through here. We can see that we've also bounced off that level, and today we opened high into this bearish FEG. So with that sort of alignment there, taking our previous day high first, I will be leaning towards seeing price move lower, and we're very close to this devil's mark here at the moment. So you can see that just there. So that's where I'm looking for price to head to during the AM session today. So we'll see what happens. Be similar with ES, although ES has swept both sides of the range already. If we do move, say, to an hourly chart, or even there on the daily, you can see that we've got that same change in state of delivery. Price has tapped into this bearish daily FEG, and then we'd be just looking for internal to external. So we could see these price move lower through to this low, even out to these relative equal lows down the bottom here. All right, let's take a look at oil. So we did, I think the last time we looked at oil, we were talking about it pushing up into this gap, which it did do, and we got that move lower out of that, and we've since, had a very strong move lower on Friday. Having a look at the weekly, we did close through this bullish FEG here on the weekly, and you can see that we've opened high and we're moving lower. Now we have swept previous week low, so let's keep an eye on that. But we could see price move or continue to shift lower. I'd be looking for a reaction here, which is that same level as the previous week low. And then what I'd want to see is a strong shift to the upside to consider price moving or rotating, so to speak. And if we have a look at the hourly, we've got nothing to signify that just yet. Okay, so we are coming off this level. We're going to want to see a structure shift, with a change in state of delivery or something like that on the hourly to start leaning towards those higher prices. So I'd be cautious with oil today. Strong bearish bias, but we have swept the previous week's low, so keep an eye on that. Let's move over to gold. This is where I did get a trade in today. So having a look here on the weekly, gold just continues to be bullish. All right, we've actually had already this week, we've moved 180 odd points in not even 2 days yet. All of last week was 170 points, so we've already expanded more than usual. And if we have a look, we can see the weekly ADR is around 67 points. We can't see that actually. Let me move it to the bottom. Let me move it to the bottom. Middle center. That way you can see it. There we go. So that's my ADR indicator. So it's showing you here that on the average, gold will move 67 points, and we've already expanded 265% of that. So that's pretty insane. So let's move that back now. There we go. Sorry. Top right. Couldn't see for a little bit there. All right. So let's push down to the daily. I'll drop down to the daily. So we did take out previous day high already, but that's not unusual with gold recently. I'm not even really concerned about that. I'm just going to stay bullish for now. If we do move lower, then I'd be looking for this level here to hold, for price to react off that. That'll be where I'm looking first and foremost. Let's drop down while we're here, and we'll take a look at the 3-minute chart for this trade I did take. I'm going to go to the micros. Bear with me. Okay, here we are on the micro chart, and this is the trade. This is the position I took. I took 3 contracts. I took 1 off here and then 2 off at this level here once we hit 2R. The first one was just at 1R level, and then these 2 at this 2R level. So the reason for this trade, if we move to the 30-minute, on the 30-minute here, we did see this candle 2 closure here. We swept out the low, and there was an SMT here as well, I believe, with silver. We can see that there, and XAU euro, you can see that there. So they're the correlated assets with gold. So we had an SMT, so that's what I was looking at, and this closure back inside the range. And then simply, if we go back to micro, because that's where the executions are, simply I was looking for a change in state of delivery then on the 3-minute chart, which we did get here. Okay, this is the first moment, and even if you wanted to look at the leg that took liquidity down here, then you were looking for here. Now, I got in, we had a retracement into this 3-minute gap. This 3-minute gap, when we closed back strongly here, so this was quite a strong close. And if we have a look at the range on this retracement, we're above 50% of these down close candles. This candle here, this 333 candle, closed above 50%. So it was at that moment in time on the closure that I got into that position. And then we had a protected low here coming out of that gap. So that's where my stop was positioned, just below that low. obviously my entry on this candle here at the open. So there was immediate retracement, a little bit nervous. And then once price closed back through this level here, then I was definitely a lot more confident that we would see higher price from there. And I just simply targeted 2R. I took the one off at 1R and then the remaining 2 at that 2R level. So I was quite pleased with that trade overall. It was quite nicely executed. If you want to know any more about that trade in particular or the approach I take during London, this is a London specific approach that I have. It's based off of TTFM, so T-Trades model, and this is my London trading approach. Feel free to drop a comment and I'll help explain anything that you might not understand or wish to know more about. Alrighty, let's push back out to the daily and get on with this. Now we'll go over to Dixie. Actually, we'll have a look at the weekly. So, all right, so on the weekly here, I would anticipate that we'll sweep previous week high first. That's our low-hanging fruit at the moment. Our level that we'd be looking for price to target. All right, beyond that, if we do continue to move higher than this level here, we have this strong wick that there'll be a lot of sellers sitting up here, and that's where I'd be looking for price to run to if we continue that move after we get a sweep of the previous week high. On the daily, we've continued the move out of the, let's clear that chart, out of that bullish FVG. And if we run our standard deviations, we can run from the high to the low. You can also use the bodies, depending on what you're looking for. And we can see that we have a target area here. And this is the wick that I was talking about. If you looked at the weekly, it lines up perfectly with our target area. So that's where I would see price heading towards. Obviously, that's our previous week high there. So remaining bullish for now on Dixie. And if we're bullish on Dixie, then I'll be likely bearish for Euro because they are inversely correlated. So let's have a look here. All right, so Euro has swept previous week low already. Interestingly, we have a devil's mark up here from previous week. But with this wick down here, I'd be leaning towards seeing price continue to move lower before we see price flip and start to move higher. Having a look at 6B. 6B is similar situation here, okay? We have swept previous week low already, but we are in a strong downtrend at the moment. So likewise, I would be targeting this low here. On the daily, we have respected the equilibrium of the previous day to the tick. So I would suggest that while we continue to respect that level, we will push lower, even though we have swept out previous day low already. So I'd be looking for a change in state of delivery on the hourly if we're going to flip and move higher. I mean, we do have equal highs up here as well. Okay, so there is definitely something tasty up here for price to want to reach for, but we will need to see confirmation before that happens. All right, let's jump over to crypto now, having a look at BTC. And here we are on the daily. We can see that price has been pretty horrible today. And as soon as I opened the charts yesterday and I saw these equal lows here, for me straight away, that was where I thought price was going to head, particularly coming out of this daily bearish FEG. And then yesterday we have this closure back inside the range. So we sweep the high, close back inside the range. We could pretty much guess accurately that price would move lower off of that. And looking at ETH, we do have a bullish FEG for ETH. So hopefully price can hold in this level and we can see price push from here. Either today we get a reaction or tomorrow push out of there. All right, guys, remember to please smash the like button, drop a comment. Appreciate all your support. Let's push the channel far and wide. Grab your Apex accounts with code Jimmy, your Tradeify accounts with code Jimmy Trades. Nearly forgot for some reason. Take care, guys. Bye for now.